Hello and welcome to Media Pool. My name is Oluwafemi Olabode, and in this video essay I will be discussing the various theories that helped me and my groups achieve a relatively successful video. This semester, each of us were put into two groups. We were to create two videos, one for media and culture and the other for media and society. Although what we learned last year was still very much important to our videos, we also had to learn to work in group settings. Another thing that was different this semester was that we had actual clients and we were expected to make videos for them. We had to prepare briefs, pitch our ideas, and if our ideas were not in line with our clients, we had to fine-tune them. The media and cultural video was for Kolu, a digital wallet app, and the media and society video was Scotty Press, a local newspaper on Scotland Road. I'll be using STEPS framework by Berger to explain how we created our video, and Bruce Tuckman's 4 stages of development to analyze our group dynamics. The first theory I will be discussing is Berger's 6 steps to virality from his book Contagious, Why Things Catch On. STEPS is the acronym to the following characteristic features of the highest viral achievements: S, social currency; T, triggers; E, emotions; P, public; P, practical value; and S, stories. Berger points out that it is of the high value to make your information shareable. If everyone shares it on social media, it becomes continuous and durable. In other words, this information becomes popular among people. More than that, it proves to be the source of influence. The latter can be achieved through a certain secret. Social currency also makes a person look better in social eyes. The fact that you share something should give you more satisfaction. A trigger may be defined as something that is rather simple to remember about your brand, idea, or product, in order to make it maximally stick to one's memory. For example, like in the Kolu video that my group did, you see 2 contestants running around Liverpool having fun, looking for shops, and you think, oh, you associate liveliness, happiness, joy, fun with the Kolu brand. Triggers are usually visual and catchy. They can also be hidden in slogans, logos, or mottos of the companies, or brand emblems as well. What we tried to do at the end of the video, we ended with shop local, download Kolu. What we did at the end of the video with that is we associated supporting local businesses with the Kolu brand, which is essentially what they were trying to do. It is obvious that we estimate things and phenomena by emotions they evoke. Like certain emotions, such as happiness, joy, tend to form a positive opinion about things, whereas disagreeable emotions such as sadness, envy, or anger are more likely to influence the choice of making an evaluation negatively. So what Berger suggests is, when the aim is to make your product or your brand go viral, you should try to induce the most powerful emotions that enforce people to take action, which I feel we applied when it came to our Scotty Press video by interviewing the owner of the Throttle's Nest, Kevin McMullen, and he talks about the changes that Scotland Road had been through over the years, and he explained the issues that they were experiencing then and the issues that they still experience now were invoking nostalgia, which isn't an emotion in a general sense, but I feel like it makes you think of what the Scotty Press means to the people there. Publicity in this context concerns the product or the idea that should be shown to people to spread amongst themselves. The more times people see it, the more chance that they will remember it and share the information amongst their friends. Showing is rather easy in terms of large web of internet connections. However, when it comes to spreading, the process seems to be rather complicated because you cannot make people decide whether to tell their friends about it or not. This decision will be made on their own. Practical value. The information should be practical and applicable. The fifth acronym and the second P of Berger's steps relates to mostly tips and how-to information. Like for instance, like at the end of our Kolu video, there's a call to action. We ask those who are viewing our video to download the Kolu app. Lastly, stories. Real-life stories and anecdotes are closely connected with a third point among the steps, emotions. Like the example I gave earlier with Kevin McMullen. If we tell stories, people will listen, and they might even retell our stories. Telling a good story about your company is a surefire way to reinforce your brand. The second theory I'm going to discuss is from Bruce Tuckman's 1965 article, Development Sequence in Small Groups. In it, he describes the path in which groups follow to be productive or high-performing. In it, he identifies 4 stages of development or 4 stages of team life cycles. The first stage is the testing and dependent stage, also known as the forming stage, in which when the groups form. The term testing refers to an attempt by group members to discover what interpersonal behaviors are acceptable in the group, based on the reaction from other members of the group. Coincident to discovering the boundaries of the situation by testing. This stage is when members of the teams are positive and polite. Some people might be a little bit nervous, haven't fully not understood the work that the team will do. Others are simply excited about the task ahead. At this stage, this is when someone, a member of the group, must take on a dominant role and assign roles and responsibilities to each member of the group. In our Kolu group, this was taken on by the person at the time that spoke the most English. In group B1, which is my Scotty Press group, this role was not filled at all, to the best of my knowledge, as I was absent for the first 6 weeks of the semester. The team moves on to the storming phase, or the intergroup conflict phase. Group members become hostile towards one another as a means of expressing their individuality and resisting the formation of group structure. Interaction is uneven, infighting is common. The lack of unity is an outstanding feature of this phase. This phase starts where there is a conflict between team members' natural working styles. People may work in different ways for all sorts of reasons, but if different working styles cause unforeseen problems, they may become frustrated. This phase can also occur in other situations, such as if another member is uncomfortable with an approach another member is having towards the work. Some may question the worth of the team's goal, and they may resist taking on tasks. Members who stick with the task at hand may experience stress, particularly as they don't have the support of established processes or strong relationships with their colleagues. The third stage is norming, or also known as developmental group cohesion phase. The group becomes an entity by virtue of its acceptance by the members, their desire to maintain and perpetuate it, and the establishment of new group-generated norms to ensure the group's existence. Harmony is of maximum importance, and the task conflicts are avoided to ensure harmony. This is the phase when people start to resolve their differences, appreciate colleagues' strengths, and respect the authority of the leader. At this phase, team members know each other better. They may socialize, and they may be able to ask one another for help and provide constructive feedback. There is a stronger commitment to the team's goal, and you start to see progress. The fourth and the last developmental phase, or team life cycle, is functional role relatedness, also known as the performing stage or phase. The group, which was established as an entity during the preceding phase, can now become a problem-solving instrument. When the team reaches the performing stage, hard work leads to achievement of the team's goals. Because there is no friction, it is easy to be part of the team at this stage, and even if people join or leave, this won't disrupt the performance. Tuckman later on adds another stage of development, and this is the adjourning stage. This is when the teams eventually dissolve. Every team eventually reaches this stage. This stage can also be called emergence of solutions, because it is here that we observe constructive attempts at a successful task completion. To assign us to our groups, we had to fill out a personality test as well as a write-up of a summary of what we look for in teammates as well as our strengths and weaknesses. I find myself an agreeable person who can get along with anyone regardless of their background. I'm a go-with-the-flow kind of person. So in Group A, my colleague group, we got along fine. I feel that this was possible because we had the same sort of personalities, and we were all willing to compromise if we were presented with new ideas. And I feel like this was also because we assumed our roles. Of course, I wasn't included in this because I missed 6 weeks of the second semester. So I was in a position where I was willing to do anything. So to make up for the 6 weeks I had missed, I found because I had missed so much, I was much more willing to do things I would rather not have done, such as presenting and showing off my face on camera. Whereas with Group B1, my Scotty Press group, we had a much harder time doing the work and meeting each other. But this was due to the workload that we all had, being in our final years and all. That caused a lot of problems because we weren't able to understand the direction in which we all wanted to, each of us wanted to the video to go in. So it made it really hard to reach our goals. But eventually we got there once we had open communication and we understood what we all wanted from the video. Our social media plan was pretty simple. We were all supposed to share it on our social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, WeChat, Instagram, and the like. And that's all we did. I have a somewhat good engagement with my followers on Twitter, so it wasn't that hard to get some of them to retweet and share my video. In today's challenge, we've got Gigi.
Hello.
And Jordan.
I'm terrified. So please, for the love of God, don't drench me.
In conclusion, I've really enjoyed this module, although it has been very stressful. It takes up all your time, and I've had to learn how to use Premiere Pro and Photoshop and After Effects and all these other film or video related applications, but I felt that it's really prepared me for what I want to do when I finish university, and working in groups as well as someone who has anxiety. Yeah, so this is it.